Because of this, they ask a question. We explained it according to Rashi, and all the commentaries ask on Rashi, and they even ask to make it worse. Rashi in other places it doesn't explain it like this. He explains it according to Tosfos, the way Tosfos. So what's Rashi over here doing? Okay. Tanan Hassam was taught over there. Rabbi Lezer ben Yaakov Aimer. This is in Machshirin. Rabbi Lezer ben Yaakov says, Tzir tahar shenafal l'seichei mayim kolshu is tamei. If I have tzir, which we learned yesterday is brine from salted fish, a little bit of water that falls in, we said water that an amaretz touches is tamei, a little bit of water falls in, so it becomes tamei.
So he's saying there's no bittul barov?
Listen to this. Very good. Very good. Amar Rav Nachman, Amar Rabbi Baravua. Rav Nachman says in the name of Rabbi Baravua, Zoisei Meres, this tells us that Nechshadu Am Yartz La'arif Mechza Mayim B'tzir. We suspect an Amaretz that when he sells the brine, he already adds in half of it as water. So therefore,
he's
when
not
you add
honest.
it,
He's diluting the...
So therefore, when you add in a drop of water, you now have the majority. They have this great story with
delusion by delusion.
They have this great story with Reb Shmuel Salant was the Rav in Yerushalayim. So someone came to him and said there was some milk fell into the cholent. So he calls in the milkman. He says, "Tell me the truth. I won't tell anyone. How much water do you add into the milk?" Okay. So the Gemara asks, "Lama li mechza?" Why do we have to say that half of it, that we suspect them that they add half of it water into the brine? Afilu batzmi mechzanami. Even if it would be less than half, it would be the same halacha. Why? Because let's say it would be 49% water, 51% brine. And then you would come and drop in one more part water. It would make it 50-50. V'hani mashu avli palga. This drop of water will make it half. Upalga lebatel. I need the majority to make it batel. If I have 50-50, it's not batel. I get it that I don't have the majority of pure, of tzir, but it's still not batel. And half 50-50 would still be tamei. So how can you say, based on this is a proof that we suspect that they're adding in half water. It's not half, 49%. In this halacha would still apply.
Question: if there's a pot of soup, fleishik soup, and a drop of milk goes in it, and it's not bato b'shishim because of the volume, the entire pot is still treif, right? Going and adding more volume of the fleishik to that soup doesn't make it fleishik. Right?
No, what happens?
Unless you add shishim's worth to that
thing.
entire pot.
Right.
So isn't that analogous here? It doesn't really make a difference whether it's 50% brine or 100% brine.
Naftali, you want to answer?
I didn't follow the question.
But he's asking us like this. When it comes to milk and meat, if a little bit of milk falls in but it wasn't batel, then the whole thing becomes treif. And I would need to add in...
And why was the milk not bottled?
Because you didn't have 60.
Oh, he didn't have 60.
You had 60,
okay.
you had 59.
Okay.
So now, the whole thing, you would need 60 times the whole thing, right? Now, what he's asking is that here, there's a difference between if it's majority. Say again, what are you saying? That if a little bit falls in...
So I'm saying here, what's the difference if you start off with 50% brine and water, the diluted stuff or not? If it's no good for the mixture, then it's no good for the mixture.
Tuma has different halachas than basar.
So 1 second.
I keep
Not
on getting
bottled,
confused, so that's my point.
So let's say the Gemara is saying that the fact that you're adding in one part water is making the water the majority, and that's why it's tamei. The Gemara is asking.
Roiv is not batul b'shish.
I understand, but the same sort of concept, either roiv or shishim. Now I'm the Gemara asks, why do you need to say that he added in half water, even if he added in, even if he originally has only 49% water, but because he's adding in that one extra thing, it's becoming half and half, and the tumah would be there. The tumah is not batal.
So there's a special halacha that says pago lebot. That's something new.
Right.
That's not
So
something
half
that
is not
we knew.
batal. Half is not batal. No. So what you're asking is, let's say I add one more part, one more part brine. What would happen now? Would it then go back to being batal? And the answer is yes. It would go back to being batal. Why? Because when it comes to basar b'chalav, all opinions agree that the milk, because both of them are permissible, basar is permissible, milk is permissible. It's the combination that makes the treif. So once they combine, the status changes. They become basar b'chalav. They're all treif. When it comes to other things, so this was permissible and this was forbidden. I don't necessarily say that what's permissible becomes forbidden. I just say that the forbidden thing is in there. And I can't eat it because it has it in there. So if I add a little more, I will say that it's nullified. I don't turn it over in the terms in the Shulchan Aruch. It's chaticha nasas nevela. Do I say that by basar b'chalav? I say that that everything that's permissible all becomes straight. Over here, not necessarily do I say that. I just say that it happens to be. It's in there, and so therefore you can't have what's not kosher or whatever. And when it comes to tumah, it could be the same thing would apply.
So in the end, you
my problem is the ratio. That's it. I don't say that the tzir turns over into tameh necessarily. My problem is I have water here that's tameh. And how much water?
If you bring back the tzir.
So if you bring back the tzir, it would probably nullify the water. Probably. I know Rashi didn't say that yesterday, but let's leave it like that. But depending on the yavets, we discussed the
because
yavets
we're dealing
yesterday.
with something that still can be bottled.
Right. Tzir, not necessarily does it tzir turn into tamei water, because I had 50, because the water wasn't bottled. Okay, so the Gemara now says, it's clear?
I'm not going to ask questions for 150 page next time.
Ema. Say it different. Ad mechza. Just add in one word. Say ad mechza.
You brought up a very good point.
Ibayas ema. If you want, you could say tumas amar tzirabana. We can learn this a little different. We can say that the whole tumah of water. Why is water tamei? If amar touches it, we don't know that it's tamei, but rabbinically we made it tamei. So tumas mashkin derabanan. Beruba gazru rabbanan. Bepalga palga like gazru rabbanan. Because it's all a rabbinic decree. When I have a mixture here, I say that it's only in the majority that the rabbi said that it's tamei. They didn't say that it's tamei by half and half. It's all a rabbinic decree that this water should be tamei. Okay, that's the easy answer. Okay, if we start the next piece,
Just do it. Go.
Shimon ben Gamliel Eimer. Reb Shimon ben Gamliel says, "Halakech behema menika menoivet kechavim." If you buy an animal that's giving milk from a non-Jew, ein chayshin shema b'na shel acheres haya nichnas l'teich edrei. We don't say that the animal that's going to be born afterwards is a bechar, and what's going on over here, that this animal that's with it is some other animal that it happened to adopt. I'm sorry. What's the daled? Okay. He comes into the flock. Those that gave birth already are nursing, and those that didn't give birth are also nursing. Both. How do does this yours explain what's happening?
Can animals give off milk before the birth of a child?
He does not need to be
No.
concerned that perhaps it was nursing the
maybe
offspring
a
of
little
another
bit,
animal.
but,
Not enough for
like
offspring
colostrum,
to nurse.
but no.
It assumes each
No,
one's nursing
it's a
from its own.
colostrum.
The majority of animals
Begin,
nurse only their
but
own
not real
offspring,
milk.
which the mother identifies by
think-
smell. So, rather,
Like a-
the buyer may assume it had previously given birth.
Does she give
In the
off?
case of one who enters amid his flock and sees the mother animal that gave birth for the first time
It's called colostrum.
that we're nursing, and also sees animals that gave birth not for the first time we're also nursing, does not need to be concerned that perhaps the offspring of this animal came to that animal, and the offspring of that animal came to this animal. So what we're looking at here is that we have an animal that gave birth for the first time. That's a bechor. So we know who's the mother. So the question is, who's the bechor? That's the child. So you assume that if this young mother is nursing a child, we assume that that child that is nursing is the firstborn, is its own child, which is the firstborn, and not that it's nursing the other animal's offspring. So if I look at the mother, I can decide and I know the mother is the one that gave birth for the first time, I can decide that the child is also going to be the firstborn.
Saying firstborn because the mother's so young, like less than a year, like those
Yeah.
things.
So in other words, I know that this is the first time the mother gave birth, and there's a child that's hanging around with it. So I'll say that this is the firstborn child. Even though there are other animals there that are nursing as well, other animals that are not firstborn, but I don't say that they switched mothers. Okay. Amar Rav Nachman Shmei de Rav. Rav Nachman says in the name of Rav, Hilchas Bekula Pirkin, the halacha in our whole parak. Everything in this parak, bar miplukta. The halacha is like everything except for the machlekes. Gemara says, Amar Rav Sheshes. Rav Sheshes says,
Isn't that kind of in general? If we don't argue on it, we agree.
I guess so. Amina, I would say, Rav Sheshes says this often. Amina kinayim v'shachav Rav amal hashmaitzi. See, Rav Nachman is quoting Rav. So Rav Sheshes says that it must be that Rav said this while he was asleep. That means
What?
Rav said this while he was asleep because there's a problem with it. Must have been he was very tired or asleep when he said this. Hey, what's he referring to? Eily ma reisha. Are we talking about the reisha, the beginning of our parak? So we said that was a machlekes miflagi Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbi Akiva. It's a machlekes between Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbi Akiva. And I guess we know what the halacha is by Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbi Akiva. We go like Rabbi Akiva. Ella, it must be referring to which Mishnah over here does he want to say that's the halacha? Ella Rebbe Elazar ben Yaakov. Mishnah's Rebbe Elazar ben Yaakov Kavanaki. I know already the halacha is like Rebbe Elazar ben Yaakov. The halacha is always like Rebbe Elazar ben Yaakov. I don't need Rav to say that. Rebbe Elazar ben Yaakov, Mishnah says Kavanaki. It's small but perfect. Ella Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. It must be referring to Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. However, with this, Miflag Palig bebraisa. That's a machlekes in the Braisa if we're going to pass like Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel. We had this once before, I think. Did we have a Okay, that's a machlekes in the Braisa. It must be Ela ad Rabbi Yossi ben Meshulam. It must be Rabbi Yossi ben Meshulam, which is the following Mishnah on tomorrow's daf. The Gemara says, "Ha'amar Rav chadazimna." For that, if that's the issue, Rav already said, "Da'amar Rav hilchasak Rabbi Yossi ben Meshulam." The halacha is like Rabbi Yossi ben Meshulam. Okay, let's leave it right there. We'll continue that.